Battery Rescue. Sarah saves the fireflies. Christina Mary Rajan, Grade 3, Chimps Millennium School, Sharjah. The introduction. Title of the story: The Big Battery Rescue. Sarah saves the fireflies. Characters: Sarah, the central character. Brother, the toddler. Parents, the environmental scientists. Batteries, various. Fireflies, supporting characters. Summary: the story is conceived around the theme life cycle of a battery. A wise and curious Sarah embarks on a journey to find the best solution for preventing extinction of fireflies, and soon realizes that one of the reasons for extinction of fireflies is due to the mining for minerals required for manufacturing batteries that negatively affects the living creatures in the forest. During their holiday trip, Sarah encounters fireflies and dreams about the need for a solution that will help the effort to stop extinction of fireflies. She asks a simple question to her scientist parents, who go on to find a new way of producing batteries positively affecting the life cycle of a battery, and encourages the readers to use environmental friendly batteries that not only help save energy but also prevents deforestation and promote biodiversity. A well-deserved holiday. Tring, 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 tring. The alarm rang for a few seconds. As usual, her little hands crawled out of the blanket and stopped the alarm. But today is not like the other days. Wow! I'm excited. Winter holidays start from today. The holiday was long due, as it was a busy year and no one could travel due to the COVID-19. But now things have changed. Due to the vaccine and good precautionary measures, travel and enjoying nature is back to normal. Sarah and her brother went for a holiday trip with their parents to a remote village far away in the outskirts of the country. Sarah's parents are environmental scientists working at the government institution in the town. Always wanted to make every holiday trip to be both enjoyable as well as a learning experience for their kids, and this time they choose to visit a tourist place called Mother Nature. This place is a small jungle preserved for its variety of animals and biodiversity by the government. For their trip, they planned to stay in a tree house that will give them beautiful sights during the day and night. A tree house is not like a modern building, but is made of wood and items from the nature. It has natural light during the day, and lamps made of firewood provide light in the night. Ready for the adventure backpack? I will take my toys this time, show them around, and they will be happy, Mama. Mom smiled and said, Yes, sure, Sarah. You will also need to take some batteries, as it won't work otherwise. Sarah took some batteries, but to her confusion, there were two types of batteries. A few had written on them non-rechargeable, others rechargeable. Mama, which one should I take? Sarah asked her mom. You will need to take the rechargeable, replied Mama. Sarah is always curious. She asks questions to clear her mind. That helps her learn new things. Why, Mama? Why is it called rechargeable? To which Mama replied, It's a long story, baby. Me and Papa will tell you the story during the trip, and you will love it. Her brother's bag was a bit smaller, as he is only a toddler, and Sarah helped pack his bag too. Both chuckled and hugged. They are really excited about the journey. They have an electric car that started it, and Sarah noticed something on the car dashboard. There was a message. Battery is full. She thought she would ask about it when Mama and Papa tell them the story they had promised they would during the holidays. Sarah heard her papa asking Mama, "Is your mobile fully charged? And have you taken the wireless charger?" Mama nodded her head and said, "Yes, sure I did. Also I've taken torch and some batteries," Papa said. Sarah noticed there are a lot of items that use batteries. Sarah had a lot of questions, but she made sure she wrote on a paper so she won't forget. Her grade 3 classes in writing notes helped her for sure. They started on the journey and it was beautiful seeing the sky during the day. Lots of light and lots of greenery around on both sides of the road. They stopped for a break at the green field where they saw large fan-like objects rotating and there were plenty of them. This time, Sarah could not hold back her question. With her eyes wide out, she asked, "What is that?" Brother suddenly stood on the car seat to see what was she pointing at. Papa replied, "This is future. These are called windmills. These fans are called blades and move when there is wind and rotates the turbine to create electricity. And the rest I will tell you when we reach Mother Nature." Encounter with fireflies. They continued the journey in the afternoon and reached the place at 6 in the evening. The lampposts are already lit. Brother had a small nap in the car, but Sarah was awake, wanting to know answers for all the questions she had. She heard her mom telling father, "It was our last project to create lampposts with solar battery. They have installed it everywhere, which saves a lot of electricity and is environment friendly." They went to the tree house. It was upon a tree that was not too tall but had staircase that is safe for children as well. They had a quick shower and settled for the evening tea. Windows were open and Sarah could see the forest. She could hear the elephant's trumpet and the crickets quacking and the river flowing. Such a serene environment and had a soothing effect on them. She opened her arms and put her hand outside the window. Here comes her first friend. A small light afar comes close. A small fly with a light on it sat on her hand. Sarah was so curious and happy at the same time. Tried to touch it. Mom said, "Baby, wait. Don't touch it. It will fly away. Let it sit on your hand for a while. It is called the firefly." Mom took the mobile and clicked a photo of Sarah holding the firefly. The firefly went out through the window and both Mom and Sarah followed to see where it was going. To their astonishment, they saw countless fireflies flying around the trees and settling on the leaves. The place was lit up like small bulbs. Sarah thought if it had light on its body, then it must have a battery inside. Her dad understood her question. Without her saying anything, Dad said, "Its lights come from its body, and there is no battery inside the body. The light is produced when there's a chemical reaction that allows them to light up." Dad did not explain further as he thought she was too small to understand what is a chemical reaction. To his surprise, she asked, "But then why there is no heat when it sat on my hand?" Dad replied, "The difference between a battery or a bulb with a firefly is that when the chemical reaction happens, battery produces heat, but firefly does not. When the oxygen combines with chemicals inside the body of a firefly, it becomes a coal light, unlike a bulb that produces lot of heat. While Dad was explaining this, Sarah saw a firefly flying towards her. It sat on her hand and started moving its fangs like it wanted to say something to her. Mom said, "Children are the purest at heart, and nature wanted to talk to them. Often nature feels like children can save the future." Other fireflies followed the first firefly and sat around the family. They are trying to say something. At this point, Dad switched off the lights inside the treehouse. Suddenly, the room became fully lit up by the lights from the fireflies. Indeed, the fireflies were trying to give a special moment to Sarah and her brother, who just woke up and saw this amazing scene. Did you know? Energy efficiency. Over 95% of fireflies' bioluminescent energy is used to create light and not heat. This is why scientists call it cold light. 95% light, 5% heat from firefly. 10% of light and 90% of heat from bulb. The fireflies flew away and the family started having dinner. Tasty, natural food made them feel refreshed. Before bedtime, Sarah took the paper that she had written the questions about the battery. Mom thought it would be the right time to tell both kids the story as an educational enrichment. She started off saying, "There are lots of similarities and factors affecting both fireflies and batteries, my dears. Batteries are made from minerals obtained from the earth. These minerals are found in various parts of the earth, but to dig them out, often large portions of forest are cut down or change the structure of the earth in that location to make it ready for mining. Cathode materials such as lithium, cobalt, aluminum, vanadium, nickel, phosphate, sulfur, manganese, and battery cathode are made from carbon, which is derived from natural flake graphite processed into spherical graphite or synthetic graphite. The third major battery component is separator, mostly manufactured from polymer. Once the minerals are obtained, these are used to make anodes, cathodes, electrodes. Due to the chemical reaction inside the battery, it produces energy in form of light in a torch. These batteries are used in almost every product that we use, from electronic toothbrush to household items like TV, radio, refrigerator to battery-run cars like ours. Further continued, theoretically, a rechargeable battery should last to eternity because we recharge it every time to its 100 capacity. But practically, every battery has a finite life, and at the end of its life cycle, the battery meets its end. The factors of affecting battery life cycle are time, temperature, and cycle life. Life cycle of a battery means tracing a battery's journey from the raw material or manufacturing through to recycling. That is fantastic, Dad. Now I know where the batteries come from. But there are basically two types of batteries, right? How are those two different? What are their benefits and how does it affect us? Some batteries can be used for once, called non-rechargeable or single-use battery. Some can be connected to electricity to recharge and used many times, called rechargeable battery. These can be used for 1 to 3 years or more, depending on the strength of the battery. The million-dollar question and the most innocent answer. Now, Sarah, do you know why we use rechargeable batteries more? Asked her dad. She paused for a moment, and then there was this sparkle in her eyes. She said, "Yes, I know. If we use rechargeable batteries, we will not need more batteries and therefore forests need not be cut down. We can save our fireflies." Brilliant, Sarah. You know it all. What you said is correct, and there is more to it. If we use rechargeable batteries, we can reduce the consumption of minerals, which will help the environment. We can also recycle the batteries to create new batteries or use for other purposes. I will show you some pictures from my project that will give more information on recycling batteries. Here they are. Now we will go to sleep and I will continue the story tomorrow. She smiled and closed her eyes. Watching all this and hearing all the stories, there were a few fireflies on the roof. They left the room with happy thoughts about Sarah and her brother. Sarah was in deep sleep and suddenly she started dreaming about the batteries. In her dreams, she saw some people cutting down trees and digging places to find minerals for the batteries. She took one of the rechargeable battery and the battery said to her, "Do you know, Sarah, I run every day and when I'm out of energy, your dad or mom gives me the drink and then I get more energy to run again." Then suddenly a beautiful firefly appeared from nowhere and told her, "You know, my dear, we understand humans need batteries to run their devices. But you know what? In the process of making batteries, fireflies are becoming extinct. As you know, we live in forests and forests get destroyed when humans engage in mining minerals for the batteries." Saying this, the firefly disappeared and Sarah turned unhappy as she had a noble heart. Next day morning, she ran to her mother and narrated what she saw in her dreams. Mother wanted to console Sarah but could not. Then Sarah asked that question, "If fireflies can make light without minerals, can humans not make batteries without minerals? If that is possible, then deforestation can be stopped." That prompted her scientist dad and mom to think for a moment, and Dad started to make a few phone calls. Sarah and her brother enjoyed a few more days at Mother Nature. They went for trekking and enjoyed nature like never. Upon their return from holidays, Dad and Mom made a recommendation to the Office of the Environmental Protection, where they presented a project for producing rechargeable batteries from waste materials like carbon and plastic. The project was called the Big Battery Rescue. Kiddo Saves the Planet. The Parents Project was selected as the best nomination for government funding. 2 years later, Sarah turned 10, her brother 5. It was their time to go for holidays. The brother asked, "Can we go to Mother Nature?" A sudden rush of excitement went through Sarah. She screamed, "Yes!" Now, this time, her brother had lot of questions and Sarah gave all the answers to his questions. When they reached the place looked even more beautiful than before. At the entrance, there was a board with a photo of her dad, mom, herself and brother with a caption that read, "This place is more beautiful due to the efforts of Mrs. and Mr. Scientists and their daughter Sarah. This is a habitat for fireflies and only rechargeable batteries made of waste products will be allowed within the premises of Mother Nature." Sarah jumped out of joy and started singing a song that made a group of fireflies surround her and dancing to a song. Fireflies, fireflies, I have come back for you with a promise that's everlasting. care of you. Like Mother Nature, Mother Nature. I have found the secret code to make batteries by recycling it. And there won't be mining or cutting down the trees. Oh dear, go and tell the world humans have taken an oath to preserve you and stop extinction. I give you the rechargeable battery. I give you the rechargeable battery. Thank you. The end. Friends, this story ends here. But a new life has just begun. The life of a new version of batteries and its stories will continue in your life. Make wise decisions in your life, just like creating environmental friendly batteries. The story of life cycle of a battery from now on will include the heroic efforts by Sarah and her family. Enjoy yours truly, Firefly and family.